Logo of U.S. Department of the Interior, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and citsci.org. Title on screen is How to Identify Your Citizen Science Project Requirements, Module 4, Video of a Bee on a Flower.
All restoration projects come with requirements.
Video of a hill with dirt, plants, and flowers with a building in the background. Next is a video of a bee on a flower.
You may need to show a 30% reduction in invasive species, a 10% increase in acres of stabilized riverbank, or host one public engagement session that attracts more than 10 people.
Video of a muddy waterfall, rocks, and plants. Next is an image of a large group of people in rows of chairs watching a man give a presentation. Then a graphic of a woman at a desk with a calendar and clock behind her.
Requirements are important for determining where to prioritize your limited time and resources, and for figuring out how citizen science can best contribute to project success. After watching this video, you'll be able to identify requirements for your project, recognize which phases or pieces of a project might be most appropriate for citizen science, list the characteristics of a good long-term project steward, and know where to find additional information that builds on this video series.
Image of two people indoors standing next to each other looking at a tablet. Next is a video of 3 people in a conference room standing and talking. Then an image of 3 people at a table and 2 of them are shaking hands.
By this point in your project, you've talked with potential partners and stakeholders about their goals and priorities, and you've probably held meetings with your own agency to discuss legal requirements for the site. Now it's time to decide where and how citizen science can contribute to the project.
Graphic of a man standing next to a sign that has 3 arrows, and there is a thought bubble above the person with a question mark. Next is a graphic with a woman standing in front of a large laptop with a clipboard in her hand and pointing to 4 large boxes with lines in them.
If you haven't already, write down all the significant requirements for the restoration site in one place. Here is an example of a requirement spreadsheet for a hypothetical restoration project. In the left column are all the requirements we read about or heard from partners. On the right are several additional columns: non-negotiable, professional, priority topic, and citizen science potential.
Image of a spreadsheet with the column headings ID, requirement, non-negotiable, professional, priority topic, and citizen science potential. Under ID are the numbers 1 through 12. The corresponding list under requirement includes understand impacts of the restoration on the shoreline, monitor the bird community for changes, remove invasive tamarisk from site, create a management plan for cheatgrass, put up educational signage along the new trail, monitor new plantings, incorporate feedback from nearby communities, engage with the K through 12 school system, partner with the city for annual cleanup at the site, study fish habitat, survey fish populations, and conduct a pollinator survey. The last 4 table headings are circled one by one.
Non-negotiable requirements might come from legal settlements, public health metrics, or requirements from other funding sources.
3 graphics of a legal piece of paper, a medical cross, and a hand holding a bag of money. Next is 2 graphics of a safety vest and an ID on a lanyard. Additional text on screen is other hired services. Then 3 graphics display a flame that has trees inside of it, a drop of water with ripples around the bottom, and another of a bird flying.
Professional refers to any requirements that will be met through professional services, like contractors or agency staff. Priority topic refers to requirements that overlap with the priority topic identified through your community interviews from Module 3. The last column is for evaluating the potential for meeting the requirement with the help of citizen scientists.
Graphics of 2 people helping mobility impaired individuals, 2 individuals planting a tree, groups of trees, and an individual feeding 2 dogs. Text on the screen is citizen science potential, good and not good. Video of a man in a wheelchair working on a laptop at a desk. Next is an image of the table with X's in some of the cells.
Take a first pass through your list of requirements and mark the boxes in the non-negotiable, professional, and priority topic columns as appropriate. Ignore the citizen science potential column for now. After this first pass, you should be able to see which requirements are not yet being addressed with professional resources.
4 arrows point to the rows that do not have an X in the professional column. They include monitor the bird community for changes, remove invasive tamarisk from site, monitor new plantings, and engage with the K through 12 school system. Next is a video of a man and 2 children looking at a leaf with a magnifying glass.
Evaluating which requirements have citizen science potential is made easier with a decision framework published in the guidebook titled Choosing and Using Citizen Science, a guide to when and how to use citizen science to monitor biodiversity and the environment, created by the Scottish Environment Protection Agency and the Centre for Ecology and Hydrology at the Natural Environment Research Council.
Image of the guide that has a photo of a butterfly, adult and child, and a line diagram and is titled Choosing and Using Citizen Science. Website address is https://www.eu/services/resources/choosing-and-using-citizen-science.
Pause the video and take a moment to download the guide now from the website link on the screen. In the guide, you'll find a decision tree with questions you can ask yourself about whether citizen science is generally a good approach for your requirement.
Image from the guide of the decision framework with arrows that say yes and no that point to different boxes with different questions and outcomes. Credit Pocock, MJO, Chapman, DS, Shepard, LJ, and Roy, HE, 2014. Choosing and Using Citizen Science. A guide to when and how to use citizen science to monitor biodiversity and the environment. Center for Ecology and Hydrology.
Questions like, is it possible to take measurements safely?
Video of a woman in a creek wearing latex gloves and picking up a leaf from the water and holding a container in her other hand. Next is a video of an adult and 2 children looking at the ground with a magnifying glass. Then a video of 3 men hiking on a rocky path going downhill.
Do you need repeat observations over a long time? Is your site accessible to volunteers? The decision framework is simple, quick to go through, and supported with additional information if you want to dive deeper.
Image of the guide's cover and the decision framework. An additional image of page 18 from the guide that is titled Notes on the Decision Framework. Next is a video of a man working on a laptop and puts his hands together and looks like he is concentrating.
Use this decision framework to evaluate each of the requirements that won't be covered by professionals. Now, look through your spreadsheet one more time. Are any of the remaining requirements in your priority topic area? Do they also have citizen science potential? If so, highlight them.
Image of the spreadsheet. Row ID 2 with the requirement, monitor the bird community for changes, becomes highlighted and an X is added to the citizen science potential column. Next is a graphic with a gear on a box with a number 1, then 2 other boxes, number 2 and 3, that have arrows connecting them.
These are the requirements you probably want to focus your citizen science efforts on. If any of the highlighted requirements are also non-negotiable, prioritize those first. If no requirements from your priority topic area have citizen science potential, you may want to consider a secondary topic from your work in Module 3. Repeat the process, if needed, with your new priority topic. Now that you have a topic idea and requirements to address, it's time to think about potential project stewards. Project stewards may serve a variety of roles with your citizen science project.
Video of a woman crossing her arms in a field smiling and wearing rubber gloves with a group of people behind her wearing the same yellow shirt and hats. Next is a video of a man talking to 3 people in a garden and laughing. Next is a video of 2 men in yellow and orange reflective vests with a woman raking in the background. One of the men is holding a clipboard and is pointing to an area while talking to the other man.
One of the most important roles is to help provide leadership and continuity for the project long after the federal government role draws to a close. Project stewards can be organizations or individuals. Good project stewards may have some or all of the following characteristics.
Image of 7 people standing on a path and looking up, and some of them have binoculars. Image credit Elizabeth Jackson, John Hines National Wildlife Refuge at Tinicum, USWS. Next is an image of a woman pointing to a notepad while talking to a man. They both have on shirts that say volunteer.
Good relationships with the community. Investment in the restoration site long term. Expertise about some aspect of the natural resources of the site. Trustworthiness. Willingness to work through challenges.
Image of 2 people standing in the grass next to a tree and holding a white net with butterflies in it. Image credit Steve Hillebrand, Cape Island, South Carolina, USWS. Next is a video of people standing in a circle and wearing gloves. Each person puts a hand in the center and give a cheer.
The best case scenario is that you will be able to identify a few different organizations or individuals your agency could partner with, and that would make good project stewards. Other times, you may only be able to identify one project steward.
Image of 3 people digging holes in the sand within a small fenced area that has little flagged markers. There are 2 buckets, one with sand, and the other has sea turtle eggs in it. Image credit Steve Hillebrand, Cape Island, South Carolina, USWS. Next is a photo of 2 people on a wooden overlook and one person looking through an installed telescope. Image credit George Gentry, USFWS.
Occasionally, you may need to be patient and do additional mentoring to help create a good project steward. Whichever situation you find yourself in, having a good project steward is a great asset to the long-term success of most restoration sites.
Image of many people in a field and one woman is separating and laying out hay. Next image is a man with a clipboard and 5 people behind him with matching shirts and holding tools.
In the next video, we'll explore projects and platforms you can use to make your citizen science monitoring work easier.
Video of a butterfly on a flower. Next is a video of a fox walking in the snow. Next is a video of a bird flying in the sky. Video credit Sarah Newman, SITSI. Title on screen, thanks for watching. Text on screen is narration John Eisenhart, DOI. Production Sarah Newman, SITSI at Colorado State University. Special thanks to Chris Klein, USWS, Brian Balmer, USWS, Daniel Mock, State of Minnesota, Jacob Martin, USWS, Matt Struckhoff, USGS, Tim Holzel DOI, Sherry Skipper, USWS, and all the partners of the Big Bend of the Jordan River Science Coordination Team. Logo of U.S. Department of the Interior, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and sitsci.org.
For more information about this video series, visit doi.gov/restoration.